Okay, so this is going to be a commentated guide or boot camp for Master Sword Restricted. A lot of people are going to be learning the category or brushing up on their skills in it for the tournament, so I thought I'd make a guide here to help out. But this is going to be targeted at someone who's kind of just first learning the category and wants a video to show the route and movement, or if you have a PB of like 3x or higher, you might find some insights in movement, like if you want to brush up on a particular segment. What I say might be helpful, and I'll explain kind of routing and tricks as I go along. So I'm not going to show you plat. You know how to do plat. It fucking sucks. The only things that are different for MSR is at the beginning here, like at the bootcamp, you want to pick up chilies, steak, and mushrooms. And then on the way to Magnesis, get the tower and do the like lag stop wind bomb down to Mag. There's some herbs behind Mag that you can pick up. It's not like completely required, but you know, maybe nice to have some backup food. It only takes like 10 seconds to get, but that's optional. And then inside Stasis, get the sledgehammer. Use it for the boulder ride. It's 3 hits. You can throw away the spear before Stasis, like on the fall damage cancel or something like that, just to skip the change weapon text box. But and then the rest is all the same until you get to Old Man. So I'm just gonna start from here because I don't have anything to show you for plat. I'm just gonna show you the stuff that actually matters. So starting here, we're gonna step out the window and aim left of east. So I probably don't need to explain this, but like I look at the north indicator on the mini map, and like I'm aiming east here, and for left of east, see it's kind of in the middle of the temperature gauge. This would be like really far left of east. This would be like a little bit left of east. Kind of in the middle of the temperature gauge is kind of the typical off cardinal wind bomb. And I'm gonna turn it for this. And super. Oh fuck, I missed the glider pull. But anyway, you see how I had lag, like looking down at the forest, you can look back at Temple of Time, like Plateau's super laggy. And if I had gotten this super, it would have gotten me all the way to Boschkala, but I'm gonna have to do a backup wind bomb. There's a lot of splits like this one where wind bombs and BLSS are basically the same speed. And it just depends on your execution and your preference. So there's lots of decisions to make like that. I usually prefer wind bombs. I'll comment whenever there's different options in movement. But when you get the super or a good BLSS, this is a shrine that you can get unloaded a fair amount of the time. There's several throughout the run. Usually in a typical run, you might get a couple shrines unloaded and not have to do the pedestal. But Boschkala, just run forward, and we're going to glide to the end. There is a square first wind bomb you can do. It saves like 2 seconds, but you know, not very worth it, since it's pretty risky. But if you're Miju, go ahead. So that's Boschkala. So something that's important for a fair amount of wind bombs is if you're wind bombing off a slope and you drop your circle bomb too early, the bomb is going to roll down the slope and change your angle and really weaken your launch. And so in Boschkala, we're going, like, you want to walk backward here and jump on the pedestal. And see how the pedestal is, like, pretty steep. So if we drop a really early circle bomb, it's going to roll down the pedestal and weaken our launch. So we're still going to do a turn wind bomb. We just want a bit of a late circle to avoid that. And we're going to go right of north. And then look left, kind of at the ruins, or... Oh my god, why can I not pull glider? But like the ruins, the forest, plateau, like just kind of look left, it's all super laggy. But you could see how that would get me the whole way. I don't think I can... There we go. So a lot of these splits are 2 wind bombs, and since we only have 3 hearts, that's fine, but if you have to do a backup wind bomb, then you want to eat. because normally I would be one wind bomb to the shrine and then one wind bomb inside the shrine, but since I had to do two, I had to eat there. Food is not like super tight. If you don't get herbs on plat, it's a little more tight, but as long as you don't like repeatedly bomb yourself, you're fine. So jump on the left peg here and see this like white strip. Like this is the first one, this is the second one to the left. Aim at that white strip and do a max height wind bomb. And then mash glider and you get to the platform. Usually I'm a bit higher, but I still made it. So max height for me is just like normal-ish circle and bullet time and then a bit of square delay. For going to Hello Rao, we're not going to super launch just because the faster you go, the more world loads you get. And since we can make it there, doing this left of east wind bomb, since we can make it there without a super, we're not going to super it just because the extra loads make it not really worth it since, you know, I can get here just fine with that fast turn wind bomb. So just do like turn wind bomb, get some speed. Inside Hello Rao, there is a turn setup you can do from the peg to like pull glider and be like 5 seconds faster, but it's very dangerous. So I recommend just run forward. See like the path here, like stand at like the left of the path and aim at this corner, like the corner in the block here, and then wind bomb, and this will get you like pretty much the whole way to the end and safely up on this platform, and then just glide to the monk. And that's like not that much slower than the peg turn, and it's super safe. If we're going to Kaiwan, we're going to grab a ferry on the way. Just, like, it's not completely necessary, but it's a really nice backup just in case you take too much ragdoll damage or something. So aim north. I aim just slightly right of north, and then you can walk up and, like, stand at the end, but what I like to do is kind of do it in stride and like just jump when I get to the end and then do a small turn left. We still want to get some height to make it up onto the bank, so not a super big turn, but it's important to get bullet time there so that you don't get destroyed by flower blight. Get the ferry, climb up on this to the guardian here, and then we're going to go left and north and do another turn wind bomb to get to Kaiwan. Most of these I'm just doing like a fairly small turn with like safe bomb timings just because I don't need like the craziest launches. I just want to get consistent launches. There's a bunch of food in the forest. We're not going to need the food. Inside, I swapped to cryo before I entered because in the first few seconds you enter a shrine like here. I'm pressing D-pad. I can't open. Now I open D-pad. So see that first like 2 seconds when you're in a shrine, you can't open your quick menu. So it's good to, if you're going to use a rune right away, always swap to it before you enter the shrine. So in Kaiwan, I'm going to place a cryo block at the top, and then one here, and shield jump on it, and then not press X. What am I doing then? Jump on the rising cryo block like that to get up, and then shoot this guy in the eye. Place another cryo block, and then another to climb up this side. Now place one behind this platform, and then jump and pull glider so that this guy notices you, and then do one dash, and he's going to shoot and hit the ground. And then keep moving, and then this guy is going to shoot and miss, and then you can glide to the end. That was slow because I missed the shield jump at the beginning so much because I kept spacing it out wrong. Maybe I'm just bad at doing it slow, or maybe I'm just shit at the game. But anyway, there's a BLSS you can do where you wind bomb up to the top of the shrine and then BLSS to the end. And it's pretty popular, but it's basically the same speed depending on execution. Like a good BLSS is better than bad running, and good running is better than a bad BLSS. But you do need to eat an extra time to do the BLSS. But, you know, whichever you prefer. And then another thing to mention is this is a shrine that you can route out. Like the general structure of an MSR run is going to be the same, like every time. But different runners can swap out individual shrines, and this is one of the slower ones in the run, mostly because of the interior is super long. So you can BLSS from the Guardian to Shayrata, which is the next shrine I'm going to go to. And if you see like Orcrist and does this, so you can check his movement. But I'm going to do it, and then I'll do one less shrine somewhere else. But run over to the left, or to the right here, and there's like a flat spot where you can pick up your bomb if you remember to switch to circle bomb. And then see this like stone little lip here? We're going to step up on that. And then go to this way, and then we're going to turn left around this hill and curve towards Shayrata. We will be warping back to this shrine, so make sure you activate the pedestal. Like if you get it unloaded, don't get too excited because you have to activate the pedestal after. I'm going to walk forward and then do a turn wind bomb to the left. Like just with height off the ramp there. Oh man, I almost ragdoll canceled onto the monk. That was pretty sick. Anyway, that's the turn wind bomb right to the end. If you're having trouble with it, you can walk down the platform on the right and then do like a cardinal right of cardinal, like with no turn or anything. It's a little easier. This is just a little faster, but something else I should mention is there's kind of two variations in MSR in terms of branch ordering. So it's all the same shrines, just in a different order, like with the warp. I'm going to be showing you the Akala first variation. This means doing more shrines on 3 hearts and then praying for 7 hearts in Kakariko. The other version is going to Kakariko right now and praying for 5 hearts and then coming back and doing Akala later. So this means you get 5 sooner, but then you have 5 till the end of the run. Whereas this, I'm going to have 3 for a while and then have 7 for the rest of the run. I like Akala first. I think it's better for food routing, but if you prefer going to Kak now, you can do all the same movement I'm going to show you, just in a different order. So for going to So Kofi, we're going to run up the back of the shrine, and anytime you're running onto the back of a shrine, look at like this circle texture. You're going to run at that, like angled towards the shrine, and that'll, nice. What the fuck? There, kind of straighter, I guess. Anyway, stand back here, and we're going to do right of east. Turn, and I'm going to super looking back at the shrine. You don't have to super this one. Like if you just do a really fast turn, you're going to get there just as well, but I'm going to land on this rock and do left of east. If you get like an incredible super, you can make it all the way to the shrine, but I'm not Johnny Boomer. Anyway, a left of east off that rock takes us to the shrine. And there's a radish here that is optional. Like you don't really need it, but it's kind of nice. And if you're doing an ordinal and Zaycasha, you might want to eat it then. But anyway, I ate a chili there because this is a 3 wind bomb split. This is our first test of strength. Vivox explains the test of strength wind bomb in his tutorial. I'm not going to go super in depth, but square first, and then nice and straight over the gap. Then grab the wall, jump and weapon swing, and then shield jump at the end of the weapon swing to get that nice piston skew. And then clip through. And since we don't have much health, we want to clear ragdoll with a shield jump. Later we'll be able to bomb ourselves, but this early in the run, we don't have enough health. because I got a shield jump. This is another shrine that can be routed out. You can go from Shayrata to Tamul in 4 wind bombs. You'd have to eat 1.5, whereas if we do Sokofi, you only have to eat half a heart of food. But if you don't like Sokofi and you want to like minimize your TOS, you could do that. You could route this out and instead do like 2 Kalo or something like that. Because I'm not going to show you like every shrine movement, but just kind of the 40 that I do. Anyway, run to the right here up onto this rock and aim north. And then look down at these trees and super. So now we have a fair amount of height and a lot of speed. We're going towards this rock formation and see this like gap up above me? We're gonna midair north or maybe a little right and north depending on your positioning. Up through this gap, right to Tamul. Tamul is the hardest shrine in the run. Many frame perfect inputs and impossible positioning back to back. Anyway, run forward, throw a bomb, and then run up a hill. Incredibly difficult stuff there. Has foiled many an incredible player, Tamul. I'm kidding, it's the easiest shrine in the run. Just run through the hole to the monk. And you didn't need to eat in this split since we make it in 2 wind bombs and there's no wind bomb in the shrine. So unless you mess up and do a backup wind bomb, you won't need to eat for Tamul. Going to Moakit, we're gonna do 2 wind bombs. The first is a height wind bomb slightly right of east. And I'm going to immediately pull my glider and drop down. I'm detonating my square, because whenever you're really close to where you wind bomb from, the square is not going to despawn on its own. So you got to detonate it yourself, and then once it comes back, we're going to stand on this corner of the outcrop and aim left. And like pretty far left. See, I'm putting the north indicator like at the top of the temperature gauge. And then just a small turn, because I'm close to dead angle. And then, see, I delayed square and then instant detonation. So that's to give me more height and make it safer to not dead angle. And see how this sent me like pretty much straight at the shrine? That's the purpose of that big turn and the square delay. Because otherwise I'd be a little too far right, but that's just how I do that wind bomb. Also for that split, you can do the east wind bomb and then instead of dropping down, keep your momentum and do an ordinal midair at the shrine. I don't like ordinal midair, so I prefer the turn, but whatever you like. So run to the left here, stand. Honestly, I don't know what my visual cues are because I just do it fast, but like anywhere on this ledge and aim a bit to the right, like don't aim perfectly straight, but like just a little to the right and then do an instant wind bomb. And as long as you don't get too much height from that wind bomb, you won't hit the ceiling or anything and you can just drop down straight to the monk. Don't delay your square because you might hit the ceiling and then can't pull your glider, but shrine's not too bad. Shit, did I forget to eat? I just wasted my fairy, didn't I? Yeah, I'm gonna reload. So remember how I said it's 3 wind bombs in this split? So you gotta eat. Maybe do it like before you enter the shrine so that you don't forget like I just did. But yeah. I just reloaded to get my fairy back. Like in a run I would just continue and lament the loss of my fairy. But also, since I'm so used to all shrines and like using fairies constantly, when I see the like animation play, nothing registers in my brain. It's just like every other wind bomb. But anyway, eat for Moakit, 1/2 of a heart. That's all you need because it's 3 wind bombs. And try not to waste your fairy like that. But okay, so a little thought experiment in wind bomb application here. Sadahaj is due north of Moakit, but it's also quite close. Like, see, it's like right there. So due north and not very far. So if we do a regular right of north turn, we're going to be sent like way off to the right and way too fast, and we're not going to be able to steer back to Sadahaj. So in cases like this, we're going to aim north and then turn, and that gives us a decently fast launch still, but being due cardinal, so we're not going to be too far off to the side. So come over to this rock, aim north, and then a left turn. And that was bad, and I got like no speed at all. Oh, I can't reload back into the shrine. Anyway, my bomb timings were kind of scuffed, but a better wind bomb there would have sent me like straight at the shrine. You can see I'm in the direction, I just had like no speed at all. So inside Sadahaj, we're going to jump on the left peg and look all the way to the right. See, I kind of pre-turn my camera as I'm jumping. And then I aim straight to the right. And I got too much height on that. I think I do like late bullet time to make it like out from under the elevator. You should make it all the way over, but if this happens to you, get up on this ledge and wall jump just to make it to the top. But if you get a better wind bomb, you should land all the way over. But yeah, that's the backup for if that happens. So for going to Zay-Casho, we're going to do a height wind bomb. But this shrine is like kind of sunken into the ground, so it's hard to get bullet time. But if you left hop, we have just high enough to do a height wind bomb and get bullet time if you pull glider at like the peak of Link's jump. So just be careful about your bullet time on that wind bomb so that you still can enter bullet time. If you don't like that, just go on the pedestal. Anyway, run like up the hill to this outcrop and then aim left of east and do another height wind bomb. And that'll get you to Zay-Casho. And I'm going to eat because it's 3 wind bombs. So Kofi, Moakit, and Zay-Casho are the 3 splits where like you want to plan to eat in Akala. And then there's a few other times like if you mess up that you're going to eat. So Zay-Casho is a bit of a tricky shrine. I'll show you what most people do and I'll show you the right thing you should do. So stand in this corner and then aim in this corner, and we're going to do an ordinal. This is like what most people do. And see, it gets you there, but I'm going to eat this radish. And see, I took like over 2 hearts. And then I need to run up. And like if you get a better ragdoll, you can land at the monk, but like you're still going to take damage. So that's why you might want to pick up the radish is for Zay-Casho, because you take a bunch of damage. So either you got to use your fairy or you can eat that radish and you'll always survive. But I'll show you the better alternative is we can do a turn wind bomb and open our glider so that we don't take any ragdoll damage. So again, stand in the corner and then aim at this seam. See this seam in the wall? We're going to aim there and turn to this pillar. I'm just doing bow aim to show you the cues, but we're going to turn to that pillar. Bit of square delay, bit of detonation delay. Oh, I got too high. I just barely clipped the ceiling there. And even though I messed it up, like I only took a quarter heart, but I went a little too high. And that would still work, like I could continue with that, but I needed to go just a little lower. There we go. I'm bad at talking while playing. But anyway, a bit of square delay to kind of when Link's feet go together, and then a fair bit of detonation delay to get that nice and low launch. But then you can pull glider and drop to the monk. This is a bit faster than ragdolling, and it's a lot safer because you don't need to eat. But if you can get it down, I highly recommend doing that instead of the ordinal. But those are kind of the 2 options for Zay-Casho. 2 more shrines in Akala now. And we're actually going to do our first elevator BLSS. This is a bit precise, but it's important to learn for MSR because we're going to do a lot of these. So I'm going to pick up my bomb. And then for elevator BLSS, we're going to get a step up off of this like bump. So walk into the very back corner. See, I'm like all the way back right now. I can't walk any further left, like I'm pressing left. And I go like up. See how like you go up on the elevator? You don't want that. You want to go as far back as you can into the corner on the ground. And then aim your bow at this blue part of the elevator, or just in line with it. Like here, I'm still in line, that part of the elevator. And then tap B so that Link isn't aiming his bow, so that the dot goes away. And then push forward and hold B. And that gets you your step up. Something that can help is when you push forward, maybe don't push all the way forward on the joystick. Go like partially. And then once you've got the step up, do whatever you want with the stick. So elevator BLSS is important to get down because we're going to be doing several of them. And time loss can build up there if you're not consistent with it. But anyway, BLSS to Kitosa Og. And then we're going to do a square first wind bomb here. Basically every square first we do in MSR is going to be like low. So I don't think I need to explain like all the timings for square first. All you got to know is to get a low square first like we want here. See, because if we do a regular circle, we're going to hit the ceiling. So we want to do a low wind bomb that's very slow right to the monk. So to get a low square first, we're going to drop the square really early and then have a bit late bullet time. See, that gets that super weak launch that's useful in a lot of shrines. And you can pull glider and then drop right to the monk. There's other things you could do with square first, like if you did go like a later square, or if you did like your circle placement, you can get more height. But this is really the only square first wind bomb you need to know for MSR. It's because every time we do one, we just want to be like super low. We're gonna do another elevator BLSS. Oh, and this is something I should mention too. Is every time you set up a BLSS, you want to look for wind. See how there's like particles and like grass blowing kind of straight forward, like in the direction Link is going? So if I try to pick up my bomb like this, the wind might blow it away. See? So every time you exit a shrine or are about to set up a BLSS, you want to look at the wind. And in this case, since it's blowing down, I'm going to turn Link upwind, and then I pick up the bomb, and Link kind of body blocks it to pick it up, because you don't want your bomb to roll away. And then another thing is you could use the shrine wall to protect from the wind. It's just a bit safer. But anyway, walk all the way into the corner, aim at the blue, tap B, push forward, and hold B at the same time. And that gets you your elevator BLSS. We're going towards kind of the cliff on the right to get to Zunakai. See this like outcrop here? I'm going to blow up my circle bomb since I need it to wind bomb. And then standing on this ledge, I'm going to do a right of west and height. Max height to try to get up to Zunakai like this. You can do these shrines in the opposite order, like BLSS from Zeikasho to Zunakai, and then Zunakai to Kitosa Og. Basically the same speed, just preference, because it removes the wind bomb, but you kind of got to take a really tight corner to get to Zunakai. There's a flame blade in this chest. I'm not going to pick it up. If you are doing the SCW and you want to do updraft storage, either with a pepper or campfire, I would recommend getting this flame blade. It's kind of just the best way to light the fire. But if you're doing front hop storage, or if you're not doing the SCW, then don't get the flame blade. I'm going to warp to Shea Rata and BLSS to Dakatas. You can also warp to Kaiwan and do like a right of east super. And I think that's like a little faster. It just, you'll need to eat for 1 heart after doing that. But I'll show you the BLSS from from Jayrata. I have a little bit of right to left wind, but probably not enough to roll the bomb. See, the bomb barely moves, so I didn't really need to turn, but just a precaution. Stand all the way in the corner, aim at the blue, tap B, hold forward and B at the same time. Then we're gonna wiggle backwards here, like in the opposite of the momentum we just got, into the wetland here towards Dakatas. I'm gonna look up a bit to reduce lag. This is something you can do during a lot of BLSSs, is if you look up, you might get less world bloats, but who knows, like it's kind of bro science. So the strat in Dakatos involves bombing ourselves, so you need to be on full health when you enter, but since we did a BLSS here, you will be on full health. So you want to front hop twice and drop the bomb on the second front hop. So 1, 2, drop the bomb, and then quick fix. And once Link lands, detonate the bomb. And that'll shoot you straight through this hole and into the chest room and swim up onto this. And you want to eat the steak here, because you want to eat for 1.5 hearts, and the steak is exactly 1.5, and it's really easy to like remember the steak here. So eat the steak, aim at this crack. If you aim straight, you might hit the wall. So aim at this crack and then do a max height wind bomb. That'll get you to the monk. Sometimes you won't take ragdoll damage, but you can take a quarter heart. So that's why you want to eat 1.5 and not just half a heart, or not just 1 heart. That's Ducatus. We're now gonna go into Kakariko and pray, and I'll have 7 hearts. Even if you don't do Sokofi, you still have enough Spirit Orbs to get 7 hearts. See, I have 17. If I didn't do Sokofi, I'd have 16. Either way, that'd be enough to pray for 7 hearts. And since we have so much health, we won't be eating for the rest of the run. This is with a Call of First. If you didn't do a Call of First, go from Shayrata to Dakatas, and you'll be able to pray for 5. I forgot to explain this. As you exit, you want to hold ZL. I think it's already too late for me. You want to hold ZL so that you don't target on the guy. Yeah. This is awkward. This is really awkward. Can I reload and just do this again to explain it? See, as you exit, you want to hold ZL. I can't really reload. I'd have to do the shrine again. I'll just continue. So basically, as you like fade in, I forgot because I was explaining something else, but you want to hold ZL before you gain control of Link, and that way he'll spawn like this without targeting the Lizalfos, and then you can walk backwards and jump on the pedestal and wind bomb south without ever targeting the Lizel. If you target the Lizel, you'll have that kind of really messy dance that I just did, and end up being a bit slower. And also, he hit me. Normally, I would eat for half a heart here, but I need to eat for 1.5 because the Lizel hit me. Anyway, land on this outcrop after height wind bomb south. I didn't even say that. And then land up here, and we're gonna go right of east. And that gets me like this, and then I'm gonna midair south. A bit left of south. That's a pretty weak midair, but I'm gonna make it. And we're going to the goddess statue. You can also do this in 2 wind bombs and some running if you go like way far left of south. I think like Orcrist and maybe Futurelander do that if you want to check. This would be a lot faster if I had a decent midair, but anyway. Go to the statue and pray for 4 hearts. Since we need to pray at the end of the run to get 13 hearts, the only downside of praying right now is this cutscene, like the heart container cutscene. But everything else, we need to do at the end of the run anyway, so it's fast to pray here and not have to get food for the rest of the run. Something I'll explain while I'm getting hearts is SCW. So in MSR, we do the SCW from Ridahi to Shivanir, which is from the bottom of the Dueling Peaks up to the top of the Dueling Peaks. And that just skips the movement up Dueling Peaks, so it's super fast. It saves like at least a minute, maybe even close to 2 minutes. But it's very difficult. If you're just learning the game with MSR, you shouldn't do it because you spend hours on one trick when you should be focusing on improving your general movement. But I'll show you the SCW route. There are non-SCW versions that you can do, which I'll explain when I get to Dueling Peaks. But anyway, after you pray, aim north. Oh, is that circle too late? It is. So I'm going to go north and not drop my circle too late and get up to Talon Egg. This is kind of a test of strength. There's a chest with a slick shield. If you're going to be doing shield surf SCW, you want to get this chest. If you're doing bomb storage or updraft storage, you don't really need it. But you can still grab it just to have a backup shield, which is kind of nice. Then there's a skip you can do from this chest to skip the cutscene. It's just like horrible. Like I think it would be like this and then max height wind bomb. I'm not going to try that because I never get it. And if you don't make it over the trigger, it's 18 seconds for the cutscene. So if you get the chest, you can run back to the peg, or if you're not getting the chest, just jump on the peg right away, and then aim straight forward, and do a left turn with like a lot of detonation delay in order to have a lot of speed straight to the end. And see, I didn't activate the Guardian there. Because with all the text and stuff, the Guardian cutscene is like 18 seconds in the shrine, and it sucks. So get piston skew, and then for Talon Egg, some people like to stand like super far left because the collision's a bit different. But I clip just the same as most test of strengths there. And then I'm going to clear Ragdoll with a bomb because I have enough health too, and it's faster than the shield jump clear. So something that Miju and Orcus do is lock the rookie buffered SCW. Don't do this. If you have like a 118, maybe you can, but like I'm not going to show you it. It can replace Kaya Wan or Sokopi or Katachuki, like whatever shrine you don't want to do. But I'm not going to do it just because it's absurdly hard and there's RNG, and it's only like 20 seconds faster depending how loose your buffering is. So anyway, spawn outside Talon Egg, and we're going to do a height wind bomb to the south. And it's easy to lag stop if you keep your camera like this, so I'm going to look down to get the town like off screen. So south, height wind bomb, and now I'm going to get lag off of Kakariko. I missed that. Is that a glider pull, or did I not have a lag? I think I just missed the glider pull. But anyway, if you got the super, you would have enough height to make it on here. But anyway, you want to go to this ledge to the very end. And we're going to Hadahammer, which is like there. So I'm doing a right of south turn and trying to get a lot of speed from this. Just because we're so high up, we can't get lag for a super launch. Just because when you're really far away from everything, the polygons are like very unloaded and you can't get lag. So you want to do a delayed turn, get as much speed as you can with some detonation delay. And that should get you to the shrine. Oh, do I have unloaded? Oh, not anymore. So Hadahammer is kind of scary, but you want to jump on the right peg, and nice. You can aim like at this crack or a bit to the left of it, and do a height wind bomb, and you'll rebound off the wall, and then get to like this scaffolding. And you have to detonate square. You can do it in the air a bit sooner, just because it's not going to despawn on its own because we're super close to the elevator still. But stand in this corner or a bit to the left and aim. I see a lot of people aim in this crack. It's better if you aim slightly left of the crack, right, kind of like this, and then do a height wind bomb. And mash glider, like mash X as fast as you can. And I was super far right, and I couldn't open glider. And so I used my fairy. And this happens a lot. Like, it's good if you still have your fairy here, just in case that happens. But if you do it better, you should be able to open your glider. I'll show you another strat. I think I've seen like Taiyaki do this. It's harder, but it removes that scary ragdoll. So left peg, and then I'm gonna do a height square first. Like delay my circle like super far. Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it. And you can make it up onto this ledge. And if you don't get enough height, you can land on that scaffolding and do the wind bomb I just showed you. But since you make it up on this ledge, you can stand here, like on this crack, and aim at this part of the wall, and then do a circle first wind bomb, and you land on this ledge, like super safely, and that gets you to the monk. And this is like probably about the same speed, just there's no risk of taking fall damage. It's just a bit harder to like do that first wind bomb. I've also seen an Ikura wind bomb, like where you turn before you play square to get height to get on that ledge, but I think square is a bit easier. But I would recommend the double rebound, especially since you're probably still gonna have your fairy. But if you get a better ragdoll and mash X, you should be able to open glider for the double rebound. So that's the two Hadahammer strats. So when you spawn outside Hadahammer, we're gonna do a left of south wind bomb. You can do a turn, like do a like slightly off cardinal turn. I'm not gonna do a turn. I'm gonna do an instant wind bomb that's super far left, like as close to dead angle as I can get. And I use a particular visual cue. Look at like the mini map here. See the left sight line, like see the left sight line. There's a cross right in front of it. See, I'm on the right edge of the cross. Now I'm on the left edge of the cross. The left edge of this cross is like the angle you want. You can also just use the north indicator, but that's how I aim very far left to south for this wind bomb. And then instant wind bomb. That's kind of high. Super off this forest. I got the super. It was just my circle was kind of late, so it was a very slow wind bomb. It's kind of tricky to. Oh, that's horrible. That's wow. Okay. It's kind of tricky to get leg for that super. And the later in the launch you try to get leg, the better, because you'll be closer to the forest. You kind of want to look like forward and left at that forest. And you want to do it a bit later, but you still want to have enough height. See, I did it too late because I missed it the first time. And then I didn't have enough height and I landed on the ground. But ideally, that super will take you the whole way. But if you have to do a backup wind bomb, it's probably like 10 seconds slower. So jump on the right peg, aim at like the edge. See this pillar? Aim at the like right edge of the pillar. And then wind bomb up to the monk. Also, the rocks in front of the shrine are sometimes unloaded when you get the super. And if that's the case, you want to like jump and place your bomb behind you and then activate the pedestal. And then as you run to the elevator, detonate your bomb. Because the rocks will load while you're at the pedestal. And then detonating your bomb breaks the rocks. And it takes no time. And that's faster than breaking them after. Anyway, for Ridahi, there's a few options for movement. You can place a cryo block and do a left of north turn wind bomb and land at the Boko Camp Tower and then do a right of west. Right of west turn to the shrine. You can BLSS off the elevator and you would then steer your BLSS like over the river. I'm going to show you if you place a cryo block here, we can step up like on this part of the rock. Do I remember how to do this? Yeah, like that. So a jump step up. So jump and then hold B. So place the cryo block like next to the rock here, and then jump and step up on that, and we can BLSS out, and then to the left towards Vidahi. If you do the elevator BLSS, it's a bit faster to set up, but you're super low, so you need to like follow the river valley, and it's kind of monka steer. But if you check I think my PB does that if you want a reference. So that'll take you to Ridahi. And then the inside of Ridahi is very difficult because there's a low ceiling, so you're going to bounce off the ceiling. So there's a couple options. There's a bunch of turn setups. In my opinion, none of them are great, but you can experiment with those. And you can also step up on the peg. Like, see how you get the step up animation? You could set up BLSS and then BLSS to that platform right at the end and then take a ladder up to the top. Pistons PB does that if you want a reference. And that's very safe. It's just slow because BLSS is slow. So the best thing you can do if you can learn this strat is run forward to this ledge and aim like straight at the monk. So like aiming cardinal. And then I'm going to instantly drop circle, instantly go into bullet time, instantly drop square, and then wait until around a third of my stamina is used in order to detonate the bomb. This will give me a very low launch. So early everything except very late detonation. And see, I just barely stayed under the roof, and that got me a nice launch all the way to the monk. So I recommend you learn that wind bomb. It's kind of tricky to get down to still get a launch while delaying that much. But I do think that's the best Rita He strat. But if you can't get it down, probably do the BLSS. You can also square first, like aim where I aimed and do a square first. It's just very difficult to get enough height to get to the monk, so often you have to land and then do another square first. And that's probably a bit faster than the BLSS. But try to learn this circle first setup. I turned my camera to the side just to look at the bombs, but you can also just use stamina. If you drop your circle too early, detonate slightly earlier. If you drop your circle too late, detonate slightly later. You can kind of adjust for it, but around a third stamina is the detonation. So I'm going to do the SCW now. I have the slick shield, but I'm still going to do bomb storage just because I have so much health. There we go, second try is pretty good. And then run to the left and glide, like, to the right, sorry, and glide south. And then once you're past the second Los Alfos, drop, and you can activate the shrine by looking back. Left peg, and then wind bomb to the end. Oh, I forgot. For Shivanath, just run to the left and glide. This is part of why SCW is so fast, because it sets you up for these two shrines back to back. But just glide down to the left, activate the pedestal, and this shrine is the same as Shivanir, just mirrored. If you're doing no SCW, the crux move is Talo Neg to Shivanir. So we're just going right peg Wimbalm. There's a BTB, 2 Wimbalms, and a BTB, but you probably don't want a BTB just because it's hard. So you can Wimbalm up to the stump above Talo Neg and BLSS to Dueling Peaks, and then I think it's either 1 or probably 2 Wimbalms up to Shivanir from that. Check Arna's PB, he'll have a good reference for the BLSS. And then from there, you can drop down and do Ridahi, and then Hadahamar, and then Totosa, and warp back up to the top of Dueling Peaks, and go to Farron from there. This is, I'm pretty sure Tayaki's PB does that, or Tayaki's old PB would be a good reference for that. It's just, it adds a warp, so it's a bit slow. Arna's route does something different, where at the end of Farron, like at Yanaga, he goes Ridahi, Hadahamar, Totosa, so he never drops down the Dueling Peaks. He goes Taloneg from Kakariko up to the top of Dueling Peaks, and then from there into Farron, and then at the end of Farron comes back and does the lower Dueling Peaks shrines. So that adds more longer movement, but it doesn't have the extra warp. So both of those, I think Arna's variation is a little faster. I'm not totally sure, but those are the two options for no SCW. Tayaki's has more movement in common with the SCW route, so if you plan on switching, maybe you want to try that. But anyway, that's anyway, we're gonna BLSS into Farron. there's very strong wind. There's always very strong wind here, so you want to pick up your bomb against the side, like so that wall blocks the bomb. Elevator BLSS. And then I'm going to bounce off this wall. I didn't bounce off the wall, but like you want to try not to have the bomb touch the wall because you probably drop it. So just be careful steering for that for a second. And then we're going towards this mountain. See this like step here? You have just enough height to get over it. So we're going south, like this way, into Farron. And Quackanada is instantly loaded. Man, I suck at this. So, maybe it's an issue with my path. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong there. Look at like Futurelanders PB or something. I have no idea what's wrong with my path. Because this should be unloaded. But it was instantly loaded when I came over the mountain. So I'll show you the backup clip. If you get loaded here, it sucks, but you can clip in. So see this like on the west side of the rock. See this black line? And then this white splotch. So we're going to set skew on the white splotch with a neutral shield jump here. And then step over. See this like fork where there's two white paths? Stand like a bit to the left. And then see this like white line in the middle of the crack? I'm going to aim kind of at the edge of that. And then instant shield jump, unequip, hold forward. Holding forward just because it's a wall that you can climb. And that'll clip in. I did that slowly to explain it, but it's maybe 10 seconds slower to do that clip if you get loaded, maybe even 15. But I must be doing something wrong with my BLSS path because I get like instantly loaded every time and it sucks. But I'm going to clear Ragdoll just because I clipped in. That's pretty funny. That chest has rubber pants. If you're doing a call first, don't get them. If you're not doing a call first, you could get the pants. Orcus does this, just because there's a few splits, like for Test of Strengths, where you can clear Ragdoll with a bomb if you have the pants, but otherwise you have to shield slurf, so it's just a few seconds faster. So whether or not you got unloaded on the way here, you need to clip out of the rock. So look at these two trees. There's like these two trees in the distance. We're going to run kind of in between them. Like we're going to run this way into the corner. And see, I'm in the corner now. And you can tell you're in the corner when Link stops. Because see, I'm walking along the left wall and then he stops. That's because I'm in the corner. Or if I'm too far right, I'm walking on the right wall. Actually, I just went straight into the corner. But if I'm on the right wall, see, he slides along the wall into the corner. So you can kind of feel where the corner is just by when Link stops moving. Like he stops getting pushed by the invisible wall. So then once you're in the corner, crouch, and then walk all the way forward and tap B. And you'll get right out. So you can do that like where you just run and then in the corner crouch, uncrouch. Just make sure you're all the way forward. I just did that slowly while explaining it. We're gonna do an ordinal wind bomb here. Oh, I guess I could explain that. So for ordinal wind bombs, the way you want to do it is be ever so slightly off due ordinal. And the way you can line this up is here. Look at the minimap. See my like sight lines. If you have one of them parallel with the map grid lines, then Link is slightly off ordinal. So you have my left one parallel. If I go a bit to the right, now my right one is parallel, and the left one's not parallel. So if you have one of them parallel, you're slightly off ordinal, and that's going to give you a more successful launch. And also late bullet time is nice for ordinals. That was kind of bad, but I should have probably looked up. Looking up there is probably the way to go, like from a lag perspective. Hey, let me try that again. So to clip out, walk all the way into the corner, crouch, uncrouch, and then I'm going to aim northwest with my sightline parallel with the map grid lines. See, there's a much better launch. I think yeah, I should have looked up the first time. It was probably lag that weakened it. But anyway, ordinal, and we're going to go straight towards this waterfall. And I like to shield surf because, oh, never mind. Often the waterfall will cancel your shield surf and like drop you perfectly in front of the shrine. I think I just shield surfed a bit too late for that. Also, I had to clear skew after Quakanada anyway. So for Shota Saw, there's a BTB to like at the end of the run. If you're gonna do that BTB, you want to get those ice arrows. I guess I'll show you that. So if you're getting the ice arrows, drop a bomb here, and then stand at the top and detonate the bomb, and the crystal will push you up, and you can open glider. And then get the ice arrows in the chest. And then swap to square bomb, and then do a low square first, straight at the monk. So that's the strat if you're doing the BTB to Rinoya and you want those ice arrows. Or if you don't like the wind bomb I'm about to show you, do that anyway and don't get the ice arrows. But the fast strat is run over to the left, stand on this crack, aim straight forward. So if you aim at that black line, you're aiming straight forward. And then do a turn wind bomb, turning to the left with like quite a bit of delay. And that looks scary because I like barely made it in. But if you have more speed, you'll hit the monk, and that's safer. But if you mess it up, you probably are still gonna land in the monk's box. See, I kind of messed up and I still made it there, so it's kind of more lenient than you might think. But if you don't like that turn, just do the bomb strat to the right, and you can pick up the ice arrows if you're doing the BTV, otherwise don't pick them up. So for going to Shai Uto, it's another elevator BLSS. I have some wins, so I'm going to look to the right. But I think that wins is RNG, so you gotta kind of just look for it, and if it's there, adjust for it. Chiv and Nath is like really the only place where you're always going to have that really strong wind. So I'm BLSSing out of the canyon and then kind of into the corner by the stable here. Through the trees. I think this corner? Yeah. This hole in the wall will have Shai Uto. There's rocks in front. I just got them unloaded, but they're there. We'll see them after. For Shai Uto, it's another peg wind bomb, but if you're like me and you like to swing your weapon before you wind bomb, you can't do that here. Unfortunately. Because, see, once I'm on the peg, if I swing my weapon, like, say I aim, this is where I want to aim. I swing my weapon, Link turns to the left. Like, he focuses on the lantern. So you want to jump on the peg, aim at this, like, post next to the thing, and then front hop wind bomb, and don't swing your weapon before you do, because it'll change your angle. And that's Shai Uto. So to go to Kalmakog, you can do these next two shrines in the opposite order, but most people do it like this. So run up on this rock and wind bomb west, and do like delay square for a height wind bomb, and mash glider, and then run over here, and we're gonna step up on this rock. So stand on like the flat part to pick up your bomb, and then as soon as I step up, I'm gonna hold down. I didn't hold down fast enough. But anyway, I do that just to avoid his face like hitting the wall, and that cancels BLSS. But it still sends us in the wrong direction, so try not to hit the trees, and then just wiggle to the west. You see this like mountain to my left? We're going at like the bottom edge of this mountain where there's like the chip, or like there's like this little flat part with some moss. Like right here. You can see this from far away, and the shrine's right behind it. This is another shrine that's decently common to get unloaded. Just because leaving Farron, you know, there's a lot of stuff for the game to unload. This shrine's really easy. Just jump on the peg to the right and do a wind bomb. Like I said, you can do Pumagnate and then this shrine. It's basically the same speed, maybe a little slower depending on your execution, but I prefer this ordering. So we're gonna do a right of north turn, and I hit a detonation delay to get lots of speed. This is one that we would want to super. It's just since we need to like steer back to the left, if you super it, you're going too fast to steer back left towards the shrine. And also it gets a ton of loads because of Farron. So it's better to just do a fast wind bomb and steer it to the left around the mountain there than to do a super. This is another test of strength. So I'm placing my square on the ledge. Oh, I guess something I can mention is like, see how when I grab the ledge, I'm like exactly in the middle of the square bomb? So in that case, I want to jump straight out and then, place my circle like that, and I'd be perfectly lined up with the circle exactly in between the square and link. But if you want to go a little faster, sometimes when you grab the ledge, like you're not exactly in the middle. Like here, I'm kind of off to the side. Like say I was like even more, like say I was this far left when I land. I could like walk over into the middle, but if I want to go a bit faster, I can still do the jump, just like jump over to the left. Because as long as the bombs are in a straight line, the wind bomb works. So say my square bomb's on the ledge back there like this. And if I place the circle in the middle, and then link, like exactly straight, I'm going to get a good launch. But if the circle's like off to the side, and link is off to the side, see how the bombs and link are still aligned? So I'm still going to get a good launch. Like think of the top-down view, like if this was 2D, the circle's rolling away, but see, it was like this, like they're still in a line, even though that line is off to the side. So sorry if that doesn't really make sense, but like what I'm trying to say is you want them to be aligned even if that alignment is kind of diagonal. So see, link is off to the side a bit, but as long as like I also jump and aim in that direction, then see I can still get a decent enough launch to get over the pit. So that's just something you can think about to go just a little bit faster with your square firsts. Because with a circle first test of strength wind bomb, Link's alignment is a lot less precise. Or sorry, Link's position on the ledge is a lot less precise. But with square, you want him to be lined up pretty well. And if he's misaligned, you can kind of compensate for it by aiming Link's bow at that angle too. So I'm sorry if that doesn't make any sense. I just, it's an optimization I think about. But we're going to do Yanaga. This is another shrine that you could red out. Like, it's not super fast, and also it's kind of difficult, but you could do something else if you prefer. But if you are doing it, walk back to the like corner of the shrine here, and then do a right of west turn wind bomb. And see this like hill in front of me? We're going to land on the far side of the hill. And then do another right of west wind bomb. And you could look back at Farron and super it. It's just like, you can kind of get enough speed anyway, and the leg's kind of tricky, so it's better to just do 2 wind bombs. Then the annoying part of Yanaga is the in-shrine strat. You can get bomb arrows near cryo, and then blow up the bricks and wind bomb from the peg. It's just bomb arrows are kind of slow. So ideally what you want to do is run forward, and you want to drop your circle bomb in this pipe, and then run up to the left here. And we're going to sprint across the block and detonate the bomb to blow up the block and get Link through that hole. Honestly, I don't really remember the timing, but yeah, like that. So it's kind of when Link is like halfway across the block, like full sprint, halfway across the block, detonate the bomb. And it takes a little while to feel out the timing. I'm used to having speed food from all shrines, so I kind of didn't know the timing for no speed food, but I think it's like just past halfway or so, like is how I would describe it, but you can kind of feel out the timing to get that launch up through the hole, and then once you're through the hole, just run to the monk. But again, this is a shrine that you could route out, like if you do 2 Kalo or Katachuki instead of this, because this is the end of the branch. If you didn't do a Kalo first, like if you went from Kaiawan to Sheirata to Dakatas and into Kakariko, now you would warp to Sheirata and do the Akalo branch. But since I did it first, I'm warping to Cryonis. And this is the final branch. This is going to take us all the way to Korok Forest. This is another ordinal wind bomb here. It's just since we have tower, it's kind of hard to see the grid lines that I was talking about as like a visual cue. But you still can, they're still a bit exposed. We're going to run over to the edge here, and see, with my right grid line, there's still enough of the non-tower region to get that aim. Do an ordinal, and then look back at Plateau for a super launch. Plateau is super laggy, so should be good lag. And see, that gets me right towards Geno. Oh, and then something else I should mention is, see how I just shield surfed? You can do that to get you like a bit of momentum at the end of your gliding, so a bit of momentum as you fall. But the other reason I do that is to clear skew. Because if you go into a test of strength and you already have skew, then your skew gets stacked and messes up and you probably can't do the clip. So between every test of strength, this shrine, by the way, is just left peg, wind bomb forward, nothing to it. So between every test of strength, you want to do a shield jump somewhere to clear your skew. And so my last one was Pumagnate, and my next one is Dakaso, the shrine right after this. So sometime during Yanaga or Geno, or on the way to Dakaso, I need to shield surf. And going to Geno, there's a huge drop, so it's really easy to shield surf there. But every time you enter a test of strength, ask yourself, do I still have skew? And if you haven't cleared it, clear it before you try to do the shield clip in the shrine. There's a few options. You can do a BLSS off this rock to get to Dakaso. You can also do one super launch. You just need VR in order to get lag. If you check Orcus PB, he'll do that. I'm going to show you the double wind bomb. All 3 options are basically the same speed, but aim right in north and do a turn. And that'll get us to this edge by the water here. And now we're going to aim left of north. And do another turn wind bomb. And the shrine is just under the bridge here. So those 2 wind bombs get you to the shrine pretty nicely. You can also super the first wind bomb, like I said. It's just you need VR, so Or the BLSS, but you know, wind bombs are so much more fun. Anyway, this is another test of strength. I don't really have anything to explain, but oh yeah, if you didn't pick up the Shield of the Mind's Eye because you're not doing Shield Surf SEW, you can use the pot lid for every test of strength. You just want a durability save whenever you set skew. But if you do that, the pot lid will last you the whole run. And then when you're clearing Ragdoll with a bomb, you want to have the bomb hit Link as soon as possible. Like, see how, like the explosion hit Link and he was like instantly standing? If you jump and place it really late in the jump, he'll like do a slower get up. So that's just a way to save like 1 second on every Ragdoll clear, is just jump and instantly press L. Just a small optimization. There's a couple different wind bomb chains you can do. Like you can wind bomb north up to that ledge and then wind bomb east and then north. But I'm going to show you the 2 midair variations. So if you just stand on this edge and aim left of east, and then do a... Whoops. Why didn't I get bullet time? Anyway, left of east, height wind bomb, and then I'm going to do a midair to the north. And then it's going to be one more midair, and I'm going to make it over. If you don't like midairs, you might want to do a variation with only one, but see, that midair was kind of bad, and I still made it. So the height is not super tight. Like it's pretty lenient on height. Stamina's more the issue, but so you can make it to Rota U and 3 wind bombs like that every time. So we're gonna jump on the left peg and aim left. You can turn your camera as you jump to be faster than that. But see this seam and this seam, like the first panel of the wall over the water, we're gonna aim at that and then do a height wind bomb. And that'll get you straight to the monk. If you didn't do a call first, you're gonna have 5 hearts in this branch. And this split was 4 wind bombs, so you're only on 1 heart. So if you take damage on that ragdoll, then you might die. But I'm not super sure how often you take damage there. I think as long as you land in the corner that I landed in, you probably won't take damage. But I can't really vouch for that since I don't pay attention to it because I have 7 hearts. So I'm sorry that I can't comment on all the health management for this last split. So for going to Kami Talk, you can do an ordinal and then super off the Coliseum. It's just you need VR to get lag since we don't have time of day. So I would recommend to do a elevator BLSS just because an ordinal super kind of sucks and VR is pretty annoying. So same old elevator step up and then BLSSing northeast here. Oh, also, if what I just said about time of day doesn't make sense, it's harder to get lag when you don't watch the opening cutscene, because look at the overworld right now. See all this like fog? All that fog makes it so it's harder to see objects that are far away, so that makes it harder to get lag. If you're in a super laggy area, it doesn't matter, but for some of the super launches where we just barely have enough lag, like for example Totosa, not having time of day does make it a bit trickier. So that's what that meant, if that didn't make sense to you. So for Kami Talk, we're going to walk left either here or down on this step. Aim at this tower. See like the white part, like this white panel? Aim at like the right edge of that. And then we're going to do a left turn, and that'll get us to the monk. If you go too high and hit the ceiling, or if you don't get enough height, you can land at that part down below and like hit the crystal, and then it'll launch you up. So if you don't get enough height, do that. But as long as you do the wind bomb decently, you should make it to the end. So the next shrine is Katachuki, but since I did Kaiawan and Sokofi and Yanaga, I'm gonna have 41 shrines if I do Katachuki. I still want to do it just to show the movement, but just note that like this route I'm doing has 41 shrines. So don't do exactly what I do. Either cut out Kaiawan or Sokofi or Yanaga or Katachuki. Because if you're not doing Katachuki, you wind bomb north, like either off the side of the shrine or off the rocks over there. Wind bomb north, there's a tree on the hill, cut down the tree, step up off the stump, BLS to Zaltawa. But if you are doing Katachuki, run up in this corner, and if you stand here, you can pick up the bomb without it rolling away. And then see this rock. We're going to step up like that on that rock, and that'll give you a pretty good step up to then BLSS like around the tower, and then we're going to turn left over this hill. And see like the dirt, like the kind of rock mound with the dirt, that's where Katachuki is. And if you BLSS through this gap, you can get all the way there. And I even have unloaded, how nice. That's, I think, the first time I've even gotten unloaded in this run. But yeah, if you're super fast, you won't even have to activate the pedestal. This is another test of strength. If you don't like test of strengths, routing out either this or Sokofi is probably the way to go. But if you don't mind test of strengths, then probably Kaiawan. would be a little better. But you saw how I was like super far left on the wall, and so I aimed really far left, and that compensated for it. That's what I was trying to explain in Commentated. Also, I had skew. I forgot to clear skew. I should have cleared it on the way to Commentated. But since I didn't, and I forgot, I'm going to need to clear skew now, and then get it again. But yeah, after that BLSS on the way to Commentated is probably a good place to clear it. I was a bit too late with the bomb there, and see how the stand-up was a bit slower? That's what I was talking about earlier. So to get to Zalta, we're going to do a right of west wind bomb. And you can either do 2 wind bombs or do a super launch here. If you want to do 2 wind bombs, there's like a rock spike by the bridge. And you can land on there and then do another right of west wind bomb. I'm going to show you the super launch though. So we're going to stand in the corner of the shrine here and aim not too far because I want a fair amount of height. And then super off the castle. See how I delayed square a little bit? That was just to get a bit more height. Because the super launch is going to give me all the speed I need. And I just wanted a little more height so I can make it all the way through the canyon. See, all the way to the shrine. If you're not doing Karachuki, you would just BLSS here from the tree above Commentated, like I was saying earlier. Left peg, and then just wind bomb. Nothing to it, really. So next up, we're going to go to Monyatoma, and it's pretty far. It's going to be 4 wind bombs. And there's a bunch of different ways you can do 4 wind bombs to Monyatoma. Like if you check various runners, they'll all do something different. But I'll show you what I do. You're going to wind bomb west, cardinal height wind height, and then make sure your square despawns. See, it said detonate at the bottom. You know your square is still available when that happens. So you want to go far enough so that that text disappears, and you know your square bomb has despawned when that text disappears. And then wind bomb north. And I'm going to land kind of here, just on the edge of this pillar. And then from here, I'm going to do left of north and do a turn. And see, that gets me, there's a kind of a big turn, but anyway, it gets me here. So I can run up to this rock. And from this rock, I'm going to do a right of north. Another turn wind bomb. And this will get me straight to Monyatoma. Sorry, I really don't know like how much I should be explaining with wind bombs, because like if someone's watching this, they probably know how to do twin wind bombs, but I still want to do like some insight into how much delay you should do for each one. But anyway, run up the ramp, get up on this ledge, aim a bit left of cardinal, kind of somewhere at the bars here, nothing too precise, and we'll go right to the monk like this. This is also one that you can take a heart of damage on, I'm pretty sure. Like if you get a really bad ragdoll. That doesn't matter when you have 7 hearts, but if you only have 5, like because you didn't do a call first, then you might want to eat. I don't know. Next up, we got Magnara. Similar situation to Sarahaj, where we're going to a shrine that's due cardinal from us, but it's not very far away. So we're going to do a cardinal turn, where instead of aiming off cardinal and then turning, we're going to aim at cardinal and then turn. And this sends us much closer, like much more cardinal instead of being way off to the side. I'm going to aim west and do a left turn. Man, that's not a very good launch. My cardinal turns today. God, I'm bad. Anyway, I'm like way too low. See this like hump in the ridge? You know the shrine is just behind that. So I still made it. See, I can kind of land in front of the rocks and then hit it with the hammer. Ideally, you would have a bit more height and you could slam attack the rocks. It's just a bit faster than landing. But when you slam attack, you know, press Y, and after Link hits the rocks, but before he hits the ground, you want to tap X, and that opens the glider and cancels the slam animation. So that's the fastest way to hit the rocks, but since I didn't have enough height, I had to land and break the rocks like that. But anyway, it's just a blessing so we can run to the end. Next up, we have Renoya. This is the BTB that I mentioned earlier. It's 5, maybe like 8 seconds faster if you do it really well. But you need to get Ice Airs and Shotosa, which makes it a bit slow. But it's still probably the fastest way to get to Renoya. It's just a BTB, so who wants to do BTBs? But anyway, check like Futurelander's PB. He probably does it. But if you're not doing the BTB, run out the wall here, or into like this hole, and aim north or just maybe slightly left and north, and do a height wind bomb. And then turn around and do a south midair. And see this rock over to the right here? We're doing that. So we just got a lot of height from those wind bombs, and now we can bail assist to the shrine. So stand in this corner, pick up your bomb, and then see like this kind of edge on the rock. You can step up on that. And then wiggle this way, and we'll be able to get to the shrine. Ooh, I gotta steer between the trees a bit, but yeah, see, I'm fine. And I got unloaded. Nope, never mind, I spoke too soon. The door loaded right in my face. Gotta love it. Anyway, that's one that's like pretty rare to get unloaded, so it was too good to be true, and I got denied. This is another square first. I should have swapped a square before I went inside, but I can just swap right now. So get on the right peg and aim a bit left of the monk. You don't even like really need to look up, like you can kind of just do this. But early square, late bullet time. Only 3 more shrines now. I am going to have 41 shrines at the end of the run, like I was saying, so don't do the exact route I'm showing you. You want to route out 1 shrine, Yanaga if you don't like Yanaga, Sokofi or Katachuki if you don't like TOS, or Kaiawan if you don't like Kaiawan. I think I explained all the movement to skip any of those, like when I did those shrines, but anyway, when you spawn in, run to the left. It's nice and flat here, so you can pick up your bomb. And then we're going to step up on this rock. And then BLSS out of this snowy hill. And just go due north. Oh, I speed capped. I guess I didn't really talk about speed cap, but you probably know how to avoid speed cap. Just when you see the yellow tick on the minimap get like to the top of the temperature gauge, you know you're right below speed cap. There's only a few BLSSs in MSR that are even long enough to speed cap, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Anyway, Shagama, get up on this ramp to the left and magnesis this block into the air and stasis it. And then you can get the chest. You can also use motion controls to throw it in the air with magnesis. I just use the right stick, but whatever you prefer. And that's Shagama. For going to Kazutoki, you can do a wind bomb chain of 3, even 2 if you do really good wind bombs. But I'm going to do a BLSS just because stamina is kind of annoying with the wind bomb chain, but you can do it, and it's probably a little faster if you do it really well. Anyway, same old elevator step up, and BLSS like around this rock, straight towards like the entrance of the maze. And on the right side of the path, there's going to be this rock here where we want to land, and you can pick up the bomb like that if you like drop. Oh, that's not going to work. But like after the BLSS, just jump down and then like tap your weapon so that he places the bomb right next to him and you can pick it up. And then from this rock, do east and then a height wind bomb. And see, I'm in like the center of the maze right now. And then if you look past the center, just to the right, there's like these 2 C shapes. And the C shape on the right, we're going to drop in. Just above these electric choo-choos, there's a ledge. That's like the end of the labyrinth, basically. So the Korok Forest entry is fairly lenient. Like you don't have to worry about the fog too much. To get up there, though, we're going to do wind bomb due south. And so if you look at like the maze here, from the steps, this wall is like really close and this wall is a bit further away. So we don't want to hit the wall on the right. We want to have enough space by going at the wall on the left. So if you're on the steps and you aim like due south, that'll get you up. And then something you can do is when you run forward, like grab this wall and that sets Link's angle. So that's kind of nice just to avoid like the throw aim, to set like the perfect south angle. But anyway, like center left on the steps there, it'll get you the angle you want. And now I have wind, but go to the left into this corner. Anyway, sorry. Go in this corner. You can pick up the bomb there. Now I don't have wind, which is nice. But step up on this rock, and so we're gonna go kind of not straight at the tree right away. Go kind of southeast towards like the end of this ridge. And then once you're a bit more this way, then you can turn towards the Deku Tree, because we want to get a kind of a straighter line. And you want to aim for like the left edge of the Deku Tree. You can see the pink flowers. You want to go for kind of the left edge of that. And you shouldn't have to worry too much about the fog. And I can drop in straight to KO Roog. A low square first is the best way to go for this. Just so you don't hit the ceiling or anything. So swap to square and then peg. Oh, I didn't even press forward. Nice. early square, late bullet time. And then you can pull glider right to the monk. And that's the last shrine. The rest of the run from here is like just talking to the goddess statue, so there's not really too much to comment on. Just jump and climb up this route, and then glide to the next route, and that gets you into the hole in the Deku tree here. And now mash A. I have 25. You should have 24, just because I did an extra shrine, like I said. If you didn't do a call first, then you'll have 32 orbs, and it takes just a little longer to turn them in. But since we spent more time in Kakariko with the call first, it all evens out. But anyway, I guess that's kind of all there is to say about MSR. I hope some of my explanations could be useful, but just wanted to get this out there, like with the tournament coming up, since some people are going to be learning the category and stuff. So sorry I'm so bad at talking while I play, but maybe I'm just bad at the game in general. I don't know. Anyway, once you're done mashing A, no, I'm not done actually. I still have 2 more spirit orbs to redeem. Anyway, once you're done, you run down the route. Since I have Shield of the Mind's Eye, I can actually surf down the route like this. But if you don't have the shield, just run. It's all the same really. Like, it's not that much faster. And then just pull the Master Sword. Press A, skip the cutscenes. And then mash through the text. And then press A to pull the sword. Timing ends when the sword is all the way out of the stone. So it's not the like first like noise, it's like the final one where there's like all the blue aura like emanating. That sounds silly. Anyway, timing ends not there, here, like when it goes all the way out. So yeah, that's MSR. If you have any questions, put them in the MSR channel of the Master Sword channel of the Breath of the Wild server. I or someone else will be happy to answer it if you have any trouble with movement or questions about routing. But yeah, that's about all I have. So.